Okay, so acquitted Virginia murder defendant sues Arlington police detective. Now, I feel like, you guys, this is going to end up turning into a larger story. I feel like it's going to end up turning into one of the cases maybe next week as I dive into this, because I haven't looked into this before, but this is in reference to the 1998 slaying of Andrea Cincotta, and I probably said that wrong, but that's what I believe it looks like, and how it's pronounced, who knows. But I believe it is Andrea or Andrea Cincotta, and she was dating Chris Johnson, who was charged with murder for hire in the 1998 slaying. Now, he went to court. Mm-hmm. In less than an hour, the jury found him not guilty. There's just no evidence for it. There's nothing there based on what I'm seeing. And why this was important to me and why I wanted to highlight it is because, you know, right now, with Idaho 4 being so hot, we talk about Idaho 4 at least once a week because you guys want to hear about that. You want to hear updates. You want to hear other details around the crime, and we're covering those things as we go. But a lot of people comment on our videos expecting people to just have 100% utmost trust and faith into law enforcement. And one thing that we always say with any case and all case is law enforcement has an equal amount of percentage of bad guys or people making bad decisions as your general society does out there. So it's not smart to put 100% faith into anybody or anything that is human. You know, the saying goes, trust but verify, right? I'm going to give you the respect of trusting you, but I am still going to verify. Yeah. Now, cases like this come into mind when I'm thinking about things like the Idaho 4 or Delphi or things like that. And this investigator believed so intently that this guy, Chris Johnson, was guilty that she went to the guy that they believe ended her, Andrea, and said that they would be lenient on sentencing if he said the call he received to end this woman, because he was hired, if the call he received to end this woman was the boyfriend.
Okay.
So, that investigator asked him to lie and say, yes, the voice that I heard was Chris Johnson, and he hired me for $5,000 to end her. But that's not the truth. What ended up being the truth, according to this guy, this Bobby Joe Leonard, is that somebody called him. He has no idea who it was. He has no idea. He's made no connections through the voice and remembering the voice or anything like that. And somebody called and said, hey, end this person for $5,000. And he didn't believe it was the boyfriend, but the investigator was trying to get him to lie for reduced sentencing. Yeah. Yeah, so he's now suing. Good. That. I agree. And there's a lot of people out there that believe that Chris Johnson did this crime, okay? But I always go back to, if we can't convict somebody honestly, I would rather be wrong and have a sound justice system than be right and manipulate and lie and do the same tactics that the justice system was built to protect us from.
Yeah.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible. And things like this just constantly remind me, like, this is why everyone needs to question the evidence in Delphi and Idaho 4. And, I mean, good luck questioning Gilgo, but question Gilgo and any other case out there. It's important.
Yeah, I agree with you. Doesn't that go against your saying trust but verify a little bit, though?
Trust but verify?
Yeah.
No. Trust but verify.
Okay.
It's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
You trust but verify everything that's being said.
But I agree with you. Anyway, I think that it should be questioned by the public. I think it's our responsibility to do that, to make sure our justice system is functioning the way it should be.
Yeah.
That I just feel like that's a personal responsibility for the people who care, like us. Like,
I agree.
I saw some drama on Twitter, and there's this podcaster, I'm so sorry, I cannot remember her name right now, but she made a post saying that Coffin Daffer was calling her, like, literally left a comment talking about how horrible of a podcaster she was because she spreads lies. And she's like...
I'm sure we'll get those eventually.
Oh, yeah. She's like, since when does asking a question mean any of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I feel like her argument was super good. And actually, Mata, the attorney, the Defense Diaries, he commented and said that she did the same thing to him, too.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I see a lot of content creators not asking those questions because they don't want to deal with that. The ramifications of asking questions, because you have people like Coffin Daffer who will call you out and say you're the worst ever and you're this and you're that. Like,
I'd take it as a compliment. Come on. Call me out.
Anyway, I don't like that it is that way. I don't like that law enforcement, okay, they want sleuths' help, okay, solving crimes, but then when they are the ones being questioned or investigated, they have a problem with it.
I know.
If you are just honest and transparent, there should be no problems here.
Even with the Idaho 4, you know that Fry came out and asked the public to help with the Hyundai Elantra, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, you helped us, thanks, but go away. You're awful. You do nothing.
We're invested because you asked for help.
Yep.
Now we are invested and we want to see it through. We care about the crime.
And help you got, too. Somebody did call in the Brian Kohberger tip. Whether he ends up being innocent or ends up being guilty, like, you got those tips because you asked.
So many tips.
Yeah.
Like, so many.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you think. I think this is interesting, and I think this is a situation that, yes, good. If this guy is innocent and he wasn't a part of this and there is evidence that this investigator lied, dude, sue them, because we cannot have people like this a part of our justice system. It is the exact opposite of everything that the justice system stands for.
I mean, I don't think you should be able to be a cop if you coerce people into confessions that aren't real.
Agreed. I agree.
But isn't that kind of standard with the Reed technique?
I mean...
what they're taught? So what we really need here... I mean, it's not really fair to fire a police officer if they're following what they're taught. So therefore, we need better training and new techniques to teach them.
Yeah, but the Reed technique doesn't teach somebody to make a false statement. Like, this would be somebody perjuring themselves in court. They're lying.
So he's got to probably prove with that lawsuit that he intentionally knew that it was not real, that it was a false statement that he coerced out of him.
So the one who was being asked to make the false statement isn't the one that's doing the suing. The one who was supposedly getting the deal is the one that's doing it.
Right.
Yeah. So that guy doesn't have to do anything. It's the one being blamed.
Okay.
Yeah. But let us know what you think.
Yeah.